Okay, so you want to be a hospital pharmacist. You have probably seen the ladder, Band 6, Band 7, Band 8, and perhaps consultant pharmacist at the top. It looks beautifully simple. Work for a few years, collect the next band, and watch the salary rise. But that picture hides the most important rule in NHS career progression. Moving through the pay points inside your band is not the same as being promoted into the next band. So in this video, I am going to map the real hospital pharmacy ladder, what you could earn in England in 2026 and 2027, what actually changes at each level, which qualifications and evidence matter, where the pathway splits, and what can slow you down. By the end, you should know what a Band 6, Band 7, Band 8A, and Senior Pharmacist are being paid to take responsibility for, not just the number printed beside the job title. Many newly registered pharmacists, the recognizable hospital starting point is a Band 6 rotational post. Not every trust uses exactly the same structure, but the common model is breadth. You might rotate through general medicine, surgery, elderly care, pediatrics, oncology, medicines information, dispensary, aseptic services, clinical trials, or another specialist area. On a ward that can mean medicines reconciliation, reviewing prescriptions, identifying interactions, counseling patients, solving supply problems, contributing to discharge plans, and answering questions from the wider clinical team. The point of rotation is not to make you visit every department for the sake of it. It is to build a pharmacist who can recognize risk across different patients, work within a multidisciplinary team, and make increasingly independent clinical decisions. Current vacancies also show many trusts supporting a postgraduate clinical certificate or diploma, a newly qualified pharmacist portfolio, and sometimes independent prescribing development. But read the actual advert. Funding, study time, prescribing support, and progression are not identical everywhere. Now separate two tracks. The first is pay progression within Band 6. In England, basic agenda for change pay for 2026 and 2027 starts at £39,959. After 2 years in the band, staff become eligible for the intermediate point of £42,170, and 3 years later, the top point is £48,117, subject to the applicable pay step requirements. That is a pay track inside one role level. The second track is promotion. Band 7 is not the next square that lights up because 5 years passed. It is a different post or a formally structured progression role with a larger scope. Some trusts advertise Band 6 to 7 development posts, but the move still depends on meeting the stated competencies. Other trusts recruit competitively into Band 7 vacancies. Time gives you exposure. Evidence proves you can handle the next responsibility. So what does the Band 7 jump usually look like? You are still a clinical pharmacist, but you are expected to operate with greater autonomy, manage more complex patients, contribute to policies, guidelines, audit or research, teach and support junior colleagues, and often develop deeper expertise across rotations or within a specialty. A diploma or equivalent experience is commonly relevant. Prescribing may be required, desirable, or supported. Depending on the post, the useful question is not, have I completed enough years? It is, can I show decisions, improvements, teaching, and clinical responsibility at the level this job requires? For England in 2026 and 2027, Band 7 basic pay runs from £49,387 to £56,515. There is an intermediate point of £51,932 after 2 years, then the top point 3 years later, subject again to pay step requirements. Notice something slightly painful. The top of Band 6 is £48,117, and the entry point of Band 7 is £49,387. The immediate basic pay jump from the top of one band to the entry of the next is only £1,270 a year. The bigger financial difference arrives as your ceiling rises and you progress through Band 7. And the ladder starts to branch. One pharmacist might move into critical care, oncology, renal medicine, infectious diseases, pediatrics, hematology, clinical trials, medicines information, or another specialist route. Another might prefer operations, aseptics, procurement, digital pharmacy, medication safety, education, research, or workforce development. You do not have to become a manager to progress, but the more senior you become, the more the job usually includes service design, governance, teaching, influence, and leadership beyond your own patient list. That brings us to Band 8A. In the current vacancies I sampled, 8A was not simply a very experienced ward pharmacist. Employers asked for substantial Band 7 level experience and expected the post holder to lead, deliver, develop, and evaluate a specialist pharmacy service. Instead of only making good decisions within a system, you may now own part of that system. Its guidelines, workforce support, audit, high-cost medicines, clinics, quality measures, training, and relationships across the organization. Band 8, a basic pay in England for 2026 and 2027 runs from £57,528 to £64,750, with an intermediate point of £60,417. Again, that is basic pay. London high-cost area supplements sit on top of basic salary, with different percentages and caps for inner London, outer London, and fringe areas. On-call, late, weekend, bank holiday, or unsocial hours arrangements depend on the role and local rota. Do not compare one London advert with one national salary and assume the job itself pays more for the same reason. So what can you actually earn, and how far can hospital pharmacy take you? Band 8B basic pay runs from £66,582 to £77,368. Band 8C runs from £79,504 to £91,609. Some very senior pharmacy leadership posts consider Band 8D or Band 9, whose national scales go higher again. But banding follows the evaluated responsibility of the post, not a universal pharmacist seniority chart. This level, the branches matter more than the rungs. A senior clinical leader may oversee a specialty across sites. A medicine safety pharmacist may shape governance across an organization. An operational leader may be accountable for teams, budgets, capacity, legal compliance, and service delivery. A chief pharmacist or clinical services leader may carry strategic responsibility for a large workforce. These jobs are not just the Band 6 role with a larger payslip. The unit of responsibility has changed from patients to a service to an organization or health system. Consultant pharmacist is another branch, not a decorative title automatically awarded at Band 8. Royal Pharmaceutical Society guidance describes consultant-level practice across expert professional work, collaboration, leadership, education, and research. To use the NHS consultant pharmacist title under that guidance, the individual must be credentialed at consultant level and work in an approved consultant pharmacist post. Being consultant-ready and actually holding an approved consultant post are two separate locks. Here is the trade-off the ladder graphic really shows. Hospital pharmacy can offer structured learning, broad clinical exposure, team-based work, postgraduate development, NHS employment benefits, and several routes into advanced practice. It can also mean postgraduate study beside a full workload, late shifts, weekends, or on-call, difficult clinical decisions, service pressure, and waiting for the right vacancy. Moving upward can also pull you away from the direct patient work you originally enjoyed and towards meetings, governance, staffing, budgets, and organizational responsibility. That is why your next move should not be get to Band 8 as fast as possible. Build a promotion packet. First, collect 3 clinical examples where your intervention changed a decision or reduced risk. Second, own 1 improvement from problem to measurement, not just attendance at a meeting. Third, teach something and gather evidence that people learned. Fourth, map the essential criteria from 3 real jobs you would want in 2 years. The gaps that repeat are your development plan. If you are outside hospital pharmacy, look for rotational roles that explicitly welcome applicants from other sectors and explain their transition support. If you are already Band 6, ask for supervised opportunities that create Band 7 evidence. Complex clinical work, audit, guideline development, teaching, and leadership of a small improvement. If you are Band 7, decide whether your next route is specialist depth, service leadership, education, research, operations, safety, digital, or management before collecting qualifications without a destination. So the honest map is this. Band 6 builds breadth. Band 7 proves greater autonomy and specialist or rotational capability. Band 8A usually means owning and improving a service. Above that, the route branches into larger clinical, operational, educational, research, management, and system-level responsibility. The salary can grow from just under £40,000 at Band 6 entry to more than £90,000 at the top of Band 8C on England's 2026 and 2027 basic scales. But the bands do not move by themselves. Your evidence, the post, the vacancy, and the responsibility have to move first. Comment below, which hospital route would you actually choose? Specialist clinical practice, management, education, research, medicine safety, or something else, and subscribe for the next Pharmacy Careers Explained episode.